Welcome back to the world's worst fishing, everybody. I'm Chris Jones, and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here today. It's a hot day in Florida. It's a scorcher. I'll bet it was 90 something degrees today, but I can't complain. That's, part of living in Florida. But today we're going to be doing a really complicated hand pour swim bait color that I think is absolutely fantastic. And if I had an aluminum open hand pour worm mold, I would try stuff like this as well. So gonna try to work on getting one of those. Start really getting into hand pouring worms and other styles of baits, not just swim baits. But this, the two-piece aluminum swim bait, it's like creativity king, what you can do with it. So a few weeks ago I posted up some orange belly bluegills that had some black dotting in them and some gold leafing, and they were they came out super cool. That was my first attempt at that, and they came out super awesome. And in one of my recent videos, in fact it may be my most previous video, I think I showed them on camera real quick and asked if anyone would like to see how they were done. And a few of you said yes, and that's all I needed. I was like, hey, I definitely want to film that one and see if I can reproduce the magic, so to speak. Because sometimes you pour something, you take something really special out of the mold, and you're like, oh gosh, how am I ever going to do this again? If it just goes perfect the first time. So we're going to try and do that today. And this is a really cool pour. There's capsuling in it. There's hand painting. All the gold leafing has to be put in by hand. There's skin pouring involved. We're going to be pouring on the hot griddle. It's got a little bit of everything, so this one's going to be fun. Let's get started. And there's our weapon of choice today, the craw tube blend. That's what I like to pour these larger style baits with. And yeah, we're not going to break that pattern today. Okay, so here's our target today. And like I said, this is a tough one. Lots going on. The first thing is that there is a clear layer of plastic poured first. So it's like clear dipping it first, and that's called capsuling. So if we look at this fin here, you can see the outline of that fin feature there. Watch that as I move it. You can see that gold foil and that black is actually below it, okay? And that's the sort of illusion effect that the capsuling gives me. Now that little purple hue to the front of the head, that is a slight skin pour layer. Then the black is blotched on by hand with a little paintbrush, and then the gold flakes, the gold foil is hand laid in there as well. And then the orange belly is poured, this white pearl body is poured, and then this top color, which is a mixture of black and watermelon color, is finally poured to finish the bait off. I'm actually out of these red eyes, so I'll have to use a different eye today. But yeah, we're really shooting for a winner here, and I think I can reproduce this really well. So first things first, we got to cook up some of that plastic, and then we're going to pour our it's basically skin pouring, but I'm pouring all of this. So the whole thing, approximately from the tail down, is going to be covered in a clear layer. So that's the first order of business. All right, we are ready to go. Have our plastic ready, and it's time to pour the capsules. Okay, so we have done this before. So this is essentially just a skin pour, but I want to coat the whole thing. So I'm not just doing a layer that's only going to fill up maybe just a portion or a pattern like you've seen me do. You'll notice everything from there down is now covered in this clear plastic. Okay, so there again. Alright, pour this in. And we want to get enough in there that we can really let it get all the way down and really fill up this entire thing. Alright, there you go. The entire area that I need covered is covered, because we're going to be doing a lot of things now on the surface of this capsule. So this is now my but basically what I'm trying to say is this clear capsule layer is now my canvas. Okay, so now I have all of the molds capsuled, and that clear layer of plastic, that capsule layer, is now going to be my canvas. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be, well, the next step actually is for me to skin pour the purple heads. But after that, that skin layer of, or capsule layer of clear plastic is essentially, like I said, my canvas. That's where I'm going to blot on the black pigment and lay in the gold leafing. So next up, we're going to take the remainder of the clear plastic that we used to pour the capsules. Then we're just going to add a little bit of black grape to it, and then we're going to pour our purple heads. And then all of the intricate pouring is out of the way. Then everything else is pretty much done by hand. Okay, so there's our cup of plastic, and this is, like I said, Lure Works Black Grape. Just going to add a few drops. Okay, I don't want too much. There again, it's just a little faint hint of purple. You know, a lot of bluegills and brim have purple in their heads, and that is what this is supposed to look like. So, yeah, I may actually add a little bit more. But, you know, whenever you're pouring these skin layers and things like that, you know, just think of it as taking the Victoria's Secret approach. There's hardly any material there. You don't need much. Less is more, right? Just kidding. Well, in a way, I'm kidding. Okay, so it's just a tiny little skin layer, and it's more of a blotch, really. Just kind of where that gill plate is on up into the head, okay? So we're just going to pour that there. All right, and then just kind of let it drip around a little bit. There you go. It's only pretty much right up front in the gill plate. And in fact, I could probably even thicken this up a little bit. That's looking a little more see-through than the other ones were, but that's okay. Hand pouring is unique, right? Like I've always said, there are no wrong colors, only new colors. And that's all we're doing with that purple, okay? And after this, the actual hard part begins, because working with that leafing is a pain in the butt, as you're about to see. Okay, so now we're going to do the black splotching first. And I'm literally just taking a bottle of black colorant. Oh, there we go. And a little, come on, focus. That might not focus. There it is. Just a little, you know, just cheap paintbrush that I can really fray out. You know, I really want to fray out the actual brush on it so that I get a blotchy effect. So I'm literally just going to dip it in black pigment, okay? Alright, let that focus. And see how that just kind of gives me that random blotch look? Actually, I'll do another one and then we'll zoom in. Okay? So, you know, there are no straight lines in nature. So I'm trying to get a real kind of faded, blotchy look that isn't, that doesn't look so man-made, right? And that's the goal and the reason why I'm doing this blotch thing here, is so it doesn't look so fake, you know, because we're trying to recreate nature, we're trying to recreate some of the effect of nature, and the last thing you want is like a perfectly stenciled look that you just wouldn't necessarily see in nature. So with that, you know, there's your kind of random blotchy look, okay? And you can do this with dotting paint. I just choose to do it with black pigment because I don't feel like getting out my paint unless I need to paint something like this on the exterior of the bait that I'm not going to clear dip. Then I need that paint that actually sets in itself. But this being behind this layer of plastic that's then going to get sealed in with the inner layer of plastic, I really don't need to use my paint. So that's what we're doing there, and we're going to do that to the rest of them. So let me just scooch over here, and I'll just we'll do this one real quick, and then I'll probably cut the camera, and then we'll get started on the leafing. And the reason I wanted to do the black splotch first and not the leafing first is because the leafing is really hard to work with. And what I mean by that is it's hard to precisely place it. But I'm going to try to place the leafing in between these, okay? But there's going to be a little bit of run over. So some of the leafing is actually going to go over the black. But when you look at the bait from the outside, you have this cool effect of the black splotches over the leafing if the leafing's on the back side of it. So I didn't want to do the leafing first and then blotch. And I think you'll see why whenever we see the end result here. Okay, now we have them all splotched. Okay, looking good, looking good. And now comes the really hard, annoying part, the silver leafing foil stuff. Pretty sure it's just gold colored aluminum foil, but it's sold as gold leafing if you want to get some of it. Now you can actually use the real 24 karat gold leafing, but you better charge a pretty good penny if you're doing all that crazy stuff. Okay, here we go. Here comes the fun part. So basically, I'm just gonna get a piece out, okay? And I'm just gonna break it up into some smaller pieces, and just kind of using the tip of my finger, just gonna blot it on there. See how that's kind of in between our black splotches, but then some of it's gonna overlap, and that's what I think looks super, super, super cool, is when it overlaps. So I'm gonna grab another few pieces there, kind of put one on that side, on the back. Let's see, maybe get a piece, kind of fill in some of that top there. And what's cool is that capsule layer of plastic, this stuff sticks to the plastic really well. So once I set this in, there's really not much that's going to get it off. You know, if the wind starts blowing, it'll blow the stuff around in that container, but it won't blow this off, and really this stuff isn't coming off. So, but you know, I literally just have to take little pieces at a time and hand lay them in there and hope for the best. It's about the only way you can use this stuff, is put it on there and hope for the best. So we'll get dropped it. No, well, yep, that's there. Let's see. Yeah, once it lands on that plastic, you're really not getting it off, especially if it's on top of that pigment, because I don't want to just dip my fingers in that pigment any more than I have to. Yeah, and there it is. So a real busy look. There's a lot going on, but I think it's absolutely killer. We'll move over to the next one here. Get it started. Yeah, boom. There's a nice piece. So I'm gonna grab some more here, and that will be the next piece that we work from. So dab that there. Okay. Maybe put some up here to kind of fill in the top. Looking good. Super neat effect. Super neat effect. I absolutely love the leafing stuff. Shout out to Mr. Brad Hardy over at Oracle Lures for turning me on to this stuff. So I've had this stuff a long time. I've used it in a few ways here and there, but this color, using it in this way, real sporadically like this, as a part of a color, is definitely the best way that I have used it for myself. I think it hits a home run in this kind of setting. These, especially these bluegill colors. I've used some of the silver leafing in some shad colors that turned out really, really nice. So bring that over there. As you can see, it's random at best, and maybe that's why it looks so good, in my opinion. It's random and natural. You're not really going to be able to lay this stuff down in very much of a orderly pattern, and to me that's what makes it look good and natural. So there you go. That's just 2 out of the 6 molds, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of these, and then we'll actually start pouring a bait. Okay, now for this orange belly, I'm going to use as little of this dead on orange as basically as I can. Just a few drops. There's 3 drops. Again, I'm thinking Victoria's Secret. Okay, so it's just a very light orange, okay? So if I look at this, let me scooch that cup. If I just kind of drizzle some of that, you can see it's quite see-through. So if I zoom in on that, I can still see sort of the table pattern below it, right? Some of that granular looking whatever it is, whatever that surface is. Okay, so that tells me that's about right. Now I'm just going to add a tiny bit of small glitter. This is 0.015 black. Okay, this is from Lure Craft. So a little goes a long way, especially when you only measured out 1/4 cup. All right. Small measurements here. Perfect. Just enough to give it just a little bit of texture, okay? And that's what our bellies are gonna be. Okay, now for the bellies, we are not doing much, okay? So I'm just gonna start it right there, just at the front of that hook slot. I'm just gonna pour it down in there just a little bit, okay? And it will kind of run its own course. You'll see it better on this cavity. Okay, try to get both sides even to a degree. All right, and that's pretty much it. Not a lot. Not a lot. And then we're gonna pour a white pearl body color next. And yeah, we're starting to make some progress now. Okay, dead on plastic snow shine. Beautiful. This stuff has become my favorite white pearl. It's just a little bit more brilliant white than my regular white mica powder, and it's a little bit easier to use because it's already in liquid form. So now we're ready to pour the rest of the body, well, the first half of the body, so to speak. Yeah, I can't wait because I really want to see how these are going to look. Okay, and here we go. Start with that one right there. Ah, that's right. You can't even see that one fully. Well, we're going to pour it a little higher than normal. So completely over that hook slot insert, because I'm not pouring a vein color on these. That makes any sense? Yeah. I'm just going to, yeah, this will be fun. I'm going to hold the camera and pour. Hopefully it doesn't go wrong. All right. Just going to stop there. Yeah, that's how I want that to do. Beautiful. All right, and I'm gonna set it down. Let's see if I can get this angle a little bit better here for you. It's about as good as I can get it, so we'll try that. All right, and here's the next one. Okay. Looks like I can go a little bit further with that one. Next. Yeah. Let it settle in. All right. All right, y'all. So there's some yard work going on in the neighbor's house, so you might hear some lawnmower background noise, so I apologize for that. This color, just a few drops of black, and like a drop of watermelon here. Not much watermelon, if I can get it to go. Come on. There we go. So black and watermelon, to me, gives a really, really awesome, dark, kind of natural greenish color to it. So it's gonna require a bit of stirring here, but we'll get it. All right. Maybe a touch more of the, yeah, there goes that lawnmower. Touch more, oh, no, that's my wife. Touch more of this green, then I think we'll be good. So yeah, lots of noise going on, but hopefully it's not too bad on y'all's end. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Super, super good. Alright, so that's going to be the base color of the top. Okay, and to finish off this top color, just a little bit of some square cut flake here. Just some black square cut flake. Just enough for a little bit of texture, but you're not really going to notice it, kind of a thing, unless you're looking for it. Okay, and let's try this final layer here. Yes, sir. And you know what, are y'all's? I have a feeling that the lighting's bad, but it shouldn't be bad. I don't know. So we're just gonna top that out there. Okay. Looking good. Super good pour. Didn't over pour it. I wonder if... I have it in my head that the lighting's bad. Is the lighting bad? I really hope that it's not. I can hear Landon playing with the dogs inside. He gets real excited and starts letting out these little baby screams that could shatter a window. And I believe that's what I'm hearing. So my wife just got home with Mr. Landon, and they're inside playing with the dogs, as far as I can tell. Alright. Yeah, looking good. Okay, we are back, and the molds are set. So let's do a quick drum roll and see how we did. Drum roll, please. Alright, here's the moment of truth. Oh yes. Look at that, you guys. Boom, there it is. The only difference being that, well, I must have used more of the black flake in the top color. But you can see it's just kind of real sporadic. And maybe, like I said earlier, the purple in the head was a little thicker, but that's it, y'all. What do you think? I think we did really good. I'm super excited. And super happy, you know, because there's a lot of effort and work that goes into that, and you don't want to spend all that time and then pull it out of the mold, then it doesn't look like you want. So, oh yeah, we're definitely getting the rest of these puppies out. So I'm told that pretty much the best part of my videos are watching the molds open. So we're gonna open another one here. This is the second one. Oh yeah, oh my gosh. And I'll say one really important thing, is especially when you're doing this many layers, is temperature. The molds need to be scalding hot, but not so hot that you start getting flashing. But you really need all those layers melted in without any cold cracks. So I set it to just over 300 degrees, and if I can drop just a little tiny drop of water on the top of that mold and it immediately boils right off, I know that I'm pretty much ready to go. So that's absolutely paramount when doing an intricate pour like this. Is, you know, when you're pouring so many different layers, both vertically and horizontally, you know, first and foremost, it still needs to be a functional bait to where all the layers are bonded well and there's no cold cracks visible, or no cold cracks at all. But you don't want the bait to peel apart either. So yeah, let's open this one up. Oh, it's gonna go that way, but we'll change that. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Such a stunning color. And yeah, a really fun technique. Well, really, it's dang near every technique. But it's a really fun thing to do, to basically apply all these different techniques into the same thing, or all into the same bait. And I mean, as you can see, you can really come up with some cool stuff. This is my favorite bluegill pattern that I pour. Okay, so you can see I have quite a bit of overpour there, and the way I like to deal with it is just a pair of scissors, but I do it almost like I'm doing wrapping paper. I don't snip it and cut it. I basically just get it started on the edge and then just run it straight up, just like you're cutting paper. Okay, here they are, all finished. Let's do a slow reveal. Oh yeah, look at that, you guys. I am in love with this color, and if it didn't take so long, I would make it all the time. So, comparing it with the ones from before, you'll see that everything is pretty much virtually the same. There's a little more purple in the head, and maybe the orange on the ones that we did today has a little bit more orange to it, so to speak. So there is our compare and contrast right there. Yeah, I definitely did more flake in those, and it's always hard, you know, unless you use small flake in an open pore situation, it always wants to sink down. So the remedy to that is to actually cold pour it, but I didn't want to do that because that takes a while and the mold was already hot. You can actually pour the top layer in multiple layers, actually, if you want to try to get better flake suspension, but that's a whole nother video. As you can see, I have a different eyeball, but yeah, that's a really good match, if I do say so myself. I'm very happy with that, you know, because every once in a while you want to be able to recreate some of the magic, you know, and if you have an awesome color, you definitely want to be able to do it again. And real quick, just want to show you some cool color shifting stuff from the other day. You may have seen these on my Instagram, so these are going to ship out as well, but pretty much all hyper shift and color shift. So that's that ZGA stuff on the bottom that I like so much. And the vein is actually gold pearl powder mixed with some dead on chartreuse, and then the top is of course one of the Dip Your Car hyper shifts. So yeah, really awesome stuff. If you want some cool pigments like this, please visit my affiliate link that's in the description below. And if you use that link to buy some of these awesome pigments, it's under the Pearls tab. That helps support the channel, and you're getting pretty much the most high-end hyper shift pigments in the business. So yeah, really cool stuff. Just wanted to show you guys those while I still had them here in the shop. No beer tonight, but the second best thing, cherry Coke. I just hadn't gotten beer in a couple days, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I've done a lot of this hand pouring stuff with the Swimbaits, so I'm trying to not just do that and do lots of other content. You know, we've recently done a back to basics about laminating. You know, we did the Middle River Baits color match, which was super fun. So, you know, still lots of good content that I'm planning in my head. I try to think about it when I go to bed at night. It keeps me awake. Just trying to think of good ideas that are maybe fun and or educational. So, you know, this one tonight, you know, this was a tough call for me. Maybe some people find that super easy, but that's what it's all about, is trying things that are challenging. And I know the first time I did that, you know, I've capsuled before and done the hand brushed black markings and poured some really cool things. So I had done some stuff like that before, but not exactly like that, not with the gold foil and not in the new hand pour aluminum mold. So you never know how it's going to turn out, and what an awesome color. So would love to see you guys try a color like that. You know, I would never say just do exactly what I did. You always want to do your own thing, but you can take some of these ideas and you can probably come up with some jaw-dropping stuff. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As you probably already know, that was the 6-inch Angling AI hand pour mold that I helped develop with them. We also have that one in a 4-inch version as well that I will be pouring more of soon. I just need to get more of them. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Shoot me lots of comments down below. Let me know which one you like best, the one from tonight or the original that I was trying to match. So with that said, we're going to sign out of here, and we'll catch you next time.